Hey everyone, now let's move on to the individual letters animations here on Procreate. The difference between full animations and individual animations is that for full animations, we are animating our lettering or illustration as a whole, whereas the name suggests individual letters, we are moving or transforming each letters individually. So the first step is to import your templates. So I already have it here. So this is the swapping letters, individual letter animation. Let's walk through the layers. So the first layer is also the cover. So the cover has the name of the animation, the description, an illustration of what's going to happen to your letters, and some instructions right here. Let's go ahead and read this. Import your lettering into the artwork folder and separate the letters into individual layers following the reference boxes. Then duplicate the artwork group, one for each slide. It is somewhat similar to what we did for the full animation, where we import our lettering into the artwork folder. But for this, since we are going to animate each letter individually, we have to separate the letters into individual layers. Next is follow the instructions on each slide by transforming your letters accordingly. Remember to select both the letter and box layers when adjusting the reference boxes. Don't forget that because we want to move the letters, not just the box, so make sure that both are selected. And to avoid reaching the maximum layer limit, you can delete the reference boxes and merge your letters once you have finished transforming them. Since this is an individual letter animation, you're going to have a lot of layers, right? And depending on your device, you might reach the maximum layer limit while working on this animation. So I would suggest that you duplicate it one at a time, and then you merge all the letters once you've finished adjusting them and delete all of the reference box layers. So that's your cover page. Next is you have your group of slide layers. Let me hide the artwork layer first and show the slide layer. So you can see here you have 6 different box colors. So the boxes are color coded so that you won't mix up the letters if there's already movement happening in your animation. So make sure to remember that the red box for the first letter, blue second, violet for third, green for fourth, yellow for fifth, and light blue for the last one. So in each slide, you also have instructions right here. It says here, position each letter with its reference box to fit this guide exactly, then duplicate the artwork for this slide 6 times. Same thing. On each of the slide, you'll see the 6 reference boxes for the letters and some instructions. So those are the slide layers. Now let's go to the artwork group. As you can see, you have 6 different boxes right here. So these individual letters animation templates are for a maximum of 6 letter words. If you're working on a shorter word, you can still use these templates. All you have to do is just ignore the other boxes that you won't be using. So if you look at the layers again, the boxes are in different layers because we want to move them separately. You're going to add each letter in different layers and position it below the corresponding guide. Okay, so now let's start animating. We're going to import our lettering. So this is what I've made previously. So let me just resize this a bit. Like that. Okay. For the full animation, it is recommended that you fit your artwork inside the box. But for this individual animation, you don't have to do that because we don't want to mess up the spacing of your lettering. So all we have to do is just separate our letters into individual layers. So I'm going to select the first layer, cut and paste, and bring it down here because this is for the first one. Go back to the main layer, select this, cut and paste, move it to the second, and then we're going to get the third letter, cut and paste, bring it down here, oops, just here, and then we're going to get the fourth letter, cut and paste, make sure we bring it down here to the fourth one, and the fifth, cut and paste, bring it down here, and the last one, we're going to bring it down here. Make sure that it is still inside the group. So, like that. If you close the artwork group, everything's going to be inside. That's what we want. Like the full animation, the next step is to duplicate the artwork group, one for each slide. So, let's see if I have enough layers to fit. No, I've already reached the maximum layer. So let me just use these first. And we're going to duplicate them again later once we have cleared up some layers to use. So I'm just arranging these artwork groups below each slide guide right here. Okay. Now let me just hide everything and work on the first slide. So this is the guide right here for the artwork. I suggest that you hide the artwork first, or like the letters, so that you'll be able to see the boxes more clearly. So right here, the boxes are in the exact position for the first slide, so we're good with this one. So for this, let me just reserve this artwork group because I want to duplicate it again later. So let's just hide it like that and move on to the second slide. Second slide instructions is to reposition each letter with its reference box to fit this guide exactly. So that's what we're going to do. Again, let's hide the letters so that we can see the boxes. So let's move the first letter first. Make sure you select the box and the letter like that when you move it. So I'm going to move it to fit the first box right there. Go to the second letter, move it, goes right here. The third one, the purple one, goes here. So it's okay if it's not exact fit, like if it doesn't fit exactly, your animation is still gonna work. So don't worry about like getting it perfectly. That. Now to the yellow. Move this here. Yeah. And then the last letter. None. So what we can do is we can select these reference box layers and delete them all, and then show our letter and flatten everything to save on layers so that we can duplicate the other layers, or we can duplicate the artwork group again. Now let's move on to the third slide. Same thing. We're going to hide our letters and adjust each letter individually, making sure that you select both the reference box and the artwork layer. Let me just zoom that in to make it easier for you to see. That's the first letter. Second letter, the blue box. Let's fit these two blue boxes together just like that. Next is the purple box. Select both layers and move like that. Select both layers. Fit the green box. Select both layers. I'm going to fit the yellow box. Select both layers and fit the blue box. Like that. Same thing, we're going to select all of the reference boxes and delete them all turn on all of our letter layers and flatten everything. Next is we move on to the fourth slide. Same thing, hide all of the letters so that we have less things going on. Select the box and the letter. Transform, making sure you match the red to the red box. Now let's work on the blue box. Move the blue box to the blue box like that. Purple box like that. Green box, make sure you select both layers like that. Yellow and blue like that. So if you need to rotate, resize, just do the same thing to fit in the red box or like the reference boxes. Same thing, select all of the reference boxes, hit delete, show all of our letters, and then flatten them like that. So we're going to do the same steps for the rest of the artwork slides. So now I think we have enough slides because we need to duplicate the artwork group 2 more times to move to slide 9 and move to slide 8 right there. Okay, so now we're going to repeat the same steps for slide 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We're done with all 9 slides. Let's just go back to the first one and make sure we show all of the letter layers and hide the box layers just like that. Next step is we're going to show all of our artwork layers and hide all our slides layers. So let's just show everything, all the artwork layers. Okay. Don't worry if it looks like this because we have to turn on Animation Assist again, like that. And then, if you remember, on slide 9, it says, select ping pong on Procreate's Animation Assist. So let's hide the slide layer again. Go to Settings and switch on ping pong, and then hit play. There you have it. Here is your individual animation. Oh yeah, if it's too fast, it means that you might need to check your instructions again. So if we go back to slide 1, I forgot that we have to duplicate the artwork for this slide 6 times. So let's just go ahead and do that. If you find it confusing, you can switch off Animation Assist again. So yeah, let's just flatten this and duplicate this 6 times as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's hide the slide layer or slide instruction layer and switch Animation Assist back on and hit play. There you have it. It looks better. So here you have the individual letter animation. It takes a bit more work compared to the full animation one because we have to move or transform each letter individually. In the next video, I'm going to show you the add-on Procreate templates. It's going to be super easy.